Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the meeting of the Education Subcommittee of Ways and Means. On this, the 13th day of March, we have a handful of bills to take up. We're going to do them in numerical order, and the first bill we're going to take up is House Bill 587. The sponsor is with us today. I will give a quick summary. Alistair, you can patch the holes, and we'll even let the sponsor, if she feels like she has something to add to it. House Bill 587, there has been a policy of offering high school diplomas to people who didn't get them initially, but left high school to go to an armed conflict when they came back. What this bill does is it expands the list of conflicts that would have people who served in them be eligible. And I don't know if we have amendments or not. I don't think
we do, sir. Yes.
Okay, yes, sir. Go. You're on now. That's it. I'm done.
Sorry. So as it came in, it said that it would apply to any armed conflict authorized by the president or the U.S. Congress. It's been amended just to include the previous three armed conflicts: the Gulf War, the Afghanistan.
Desert Storm.
Yes, Desert Storm, the Operation Desert Storm, the Afghanistan conflict, and the Iraq War.
Is there any discussion on the bill? On the first on the amendment and then on the bill. Okay, I'll take a motion on the amendment if someone would like to move.
Move favorable.
Thank you. Sponsors
Second.
favorable, and I saw a second. Both will take 2 seconds from Miller and Fair. Any further discussion on the amendment? Okay, with that, all in favor of the amendment, raise your hands, please, or say aye, but you're all on camera so I can see your hands. That's 5 positive votes there. I thought I had a 6th. I thought we had 5. All right, well, anyway, we still got 5, so we're still good. On the bill as amended, any discussion or any motion?
Move favorable.
Thank you, Delegate Fair, and a second from the sponsor, which is most appropriate. Is there any discussion on the bill as amended? All right, all in favor of the bill as amended, raise your hands. And everybody's hands are up, so there's none opposed. Next bill, 782, House Bill 782 is a bill that is presented by Delegate Atterbury. It's really a study. There's some rather complex and cool systems for detecting deadly weapons in public and middle and high schools. I will add that I remember from the testimony, this was not to see into backpacks or into pockets. This was really if a weapon was displayed, that there's this kind of thing. And really, this is not going to authorize this. It is merely going to be a study on the possibility of using them. I defer to the council for any additional details.
Yes, thank you, sir. There are some amendments for this one, which I could discuss, but
yeah, I would like you can do that if I covered the outline of the bill, then if we're ready to talk about the amendments.
Yes, absolutely. I think you did, but so the amendments changed the study from one done by the State Department of Education to one done by the Maryland Center for School Safety. They clarify that any information collected as part of the study's evaluation of school systems is not a public record and must be protected as other information related to school safety is. Additionally, rather than a physical audit of each school, the amendments require that the Center for School Safety engage in an evaluation that includes meetings with members of the school system to discuss the attributes of the school and to use the regular safety evaluations and reports of the school. Finally, the amendments to create a interim report that's due at the end of this year rather than just a final report, and a final report that's due the following year.
And if I'm not mistaken, a couple of those amendments help to sort of smooth down the fiscal note a bit.
Yes, that's right. So according to the fiscal note, it would cost roughly $10,000 to do an audit of each school system, which resulted in $240,000 fiscal note for that portion.
240 million, right? If we did it for every school?
No, 10,000 for each school. 10,000 for each school system. I mean,
okay, you said each school, and I was
I apologize.
Okay.
Yes, that would be a lot of money. So I talked to the Center for School Safety's executive director, and she believed that if instead of an audit, they were able to meet with the school systems to go over the data that's already collected by the Center for School Safety, that it would not cost much, just the time of the school systems and the uh,
I see
Center.
Delegate Fair's hand up. You have a question on the amendment, sir?
No, just I read the amendments. They're all very, very logical and I think strengthen the bill a lot. And I move favorable on the amendments.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
I hear a second from Delegate Wu. Any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand. Everybody's on camera, so we can all do the hand up thing. And that passes the amendment. On the bill as amended. Any discussion or any any motions?
For your support of homeschooling and our veterans.
Move favorable.
Thank
on
you.
The bill is
Pregnant pause there. We have a favorable
Second.
motion and a second from Delegate Miller. And is there any further discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, all in favor of the bill as amended, please raise your hands. I see a bunch of hands and every single one, so I don't have to go who's opposed. We have no one opposed. That bill will be passed on to committee also. Our next bill is House Bill 986. This one, I can't say enough about the sponsor one way or the other, but this is a bill that works to retain teachers in schools by assigning them mentors when they're in their first 2 years, although we're going to amend that, and also to make them have a cohort of new teachers that is run by a veteran teacher in their first 3 years. Thinking is we might be able to keep them around a little longer if we do that. I'm sorry, I need to talk on I need to really talk what the bill does and not talk for it yet. Alistair, I think we have an amendment, don't we?
Yes, sir. The amendment makes a couple minor changes to the bill. As you said, rather than defining new teacher as those who are in their first 2 years of teaching, it's those in their first 3 years, which aligns with the pathway of being a teacher, which takes 3 years. It also requires that the mentor that the teacher is assigned to be a highly competent mentor, and requires that those who provide mentorship receive supplemental compensation or through either additional pay or planning time.
And that was not really the amendment. I think that was in the original bill, but it's good to highlight that part of it, I think. Yes, or was that the amendment?
The amendment just tweaked the language a little bit.
Okay, great. Tweaked, is that the word you would use?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
a term of
you
art.
made Hornberger say the word tweaked on the floor the other day. That was really very clever of you. He had me saying some things the other day when I got to the end of my description. It said, and it's a sponsor problem, because what Alistair had written would have been, in my opinion, a little embarrassing. So I didn't. So you got to watch when Alistair writes stuff for you if he likes you or doesn't. On the amendments, do I have any discussion or is there a motion?
Move favorable.
Thank you, Delegate
Second.
Patterson.
Second.
Second, several of you, thank you. All in favor of the amendment, raise your hand, please. Thank you. We're unanimous there. On the bill as amended, a motion or discussion or questions?
Move favorable.
I heard a
Second.
favorable on that, a second. I heard two favorable, so we'll count the second favorable as a second. All in favor all in favor of the bill as amended, please raise your hands. We're all on camera, and that's also unanimous. So that one will also be brought to committee for a vote. I think our last one of this particular meeting is House Bill 1127. This is a school water safety, and it's listed as a water safety and swim and instruction content plan reporting. We had this bill last year. We are going to get it into a similar status as last year, and I'm going to let Ali J there talk it over with us.
Thank you, sir. So as this bill came in, it's slightly different than the version last year. It requires that each county board of education develop instructional content on swimming and water safety to be provided as part of either or both the health and physical education curriculum. Additionally, each county had to enter into a contract develop a plan to enable public school students to have access to swimming pools within a year or 2 years of the bill's adoption. The amendments alter this, take out the plan, and make the course on water safety rather than swimming, make it offered in either the physical education or the health curriculum at least once for elementary, middle, and high school students, and clarify that it should not be construed to require counties to provide in-pool instruction for the students.
Are there any questions on the amendment? or is there a motion on the
A
amendments?
question.
Yes, Delegate Wu, a question.
Move favorable on the amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a favorable motion. Delegate Wu, was that a motion or was that a
And I
question?
have a question. So
Yes. Can we get a
this kind
second? Hold on, while we, since
Second.
he snuck it in. Okay, now we've got a motion and a second. Now, Delegate Wu, your question.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, like with the amendment, this just say school need to provide instructions, right? Make sure kids are aware of these kind of safety measures.
That's
Comes
right.
down-
Yeah.
Comes down to a unit, and we didn't specify how long it had to be or the content of it, just that there has to be some
Do we
instruction. on
know
what it's-
actually in our curriculum, we already have that or not having that at all?
If you do it, you'll be in compliance already,
Yeah.
so it won't be a problem. Okay, I've got a motion and a second, and I think Delegate Wu, that was the answer to your question. All in favor of the amendment, raise your hand, please. Yeah, look at the farmer. That's great. It comes on. And then on the bill as amended, any discussion or a motion?
Move favorable as amended.
Okay, favorable and a second. All in, any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none, all in favor of the bill as amended, please raise your hand. And all hands are up, so we're unanimous on that one. Thank you all. Nice and efficient. That concludes our business. We will be coming back. There's more education stuff. We have a couple local bills to take up as well as a couple of others that are in flux right now. So I will see you all soon. Keep your ears to the rail. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. And a reminder,